talking about the trailer. But did you see how uncomfortable he was just about looking at it?
Yeah.
So if we think what comes before, what comes after, loading in the trailer is what comes after, but what comes before that, he lines up at 6 o'clock. And more importantly, he looks. So even before he lines up at 6 o'clock, for a horse that's nervous, he just needs to feel good about looking. So if he decides to look, I take all the pressure off, and if he decides not to look, I just send him on back and say, hey, there's no value being
Then he'll do that.
over here. That's okay.
He'll pull all the way over to those trailers.
The value is in this release right here.
Yeah, that's what I've done.
So it's a very short time, but I say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I re-engage him and I say this is the wrong path. That's the right path. I'm not going to talk to you while you're doing that except for to praise you. But over here there's consequences and over here there are none. So water finds the path of least resistance. He will too. There's no consequences here. No pressure. Not yet. Because until he's comfortable just looking, I'm not going to say step in there. So I'm going to play this in stages. I want him comfortable looking first. So I play a game. It's uncomfortable if you don't look. Look, is he comfortable looking yet? I can't tell because he's fast, he's nervous, he's buzzing. So I'm not going to ask him to step in there. I'm going to ask him to be comfortable looking. And the only way I can do that is to keep causing discomfort when he doesn't look. And comfort when he does. So I'm just saying it's not comfortable not looking. You don't have to go in. You don't have to go in. I'd rather you didn't go in. I'd rather you find some comfort in looking. And there's about a 3 to 5 second grace window when he's screwing up. So watch. He's going to quit looking. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. Okay, how about, good job. How about you look again? In other words, if he's making the wrong decision, I'm not like down his throat about it. There's a grace period, and then I go jump down his throat. So here it is. Saying, okay, you haven't looked for a few seconds. How about you try looking again? Go ahead and try looking. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. Okay, look, you're not looking. Can't just say, do perfect, be perfect. 1 1,000, 2 1,000. Okay, no, it's not comfortable over here. Three 1,000. Not comfortable over here. I'm pushing up against 5 seconds here where he's not really looking, but he is starting to relax around in proximity to the trailer. So this is going to help us. So I'm going to take advantage of that.
And the other problem I have with that is across the fence over there stands Parker going, and he wants to be there
Yeah, sure.
because he's really funny.
But what are you getting so far as you walk? What are you seeing, getting, feeling, hearing from me so far? What's standing out?
With you?
Yeah,
Well,
what
you've got to focus on the trailer.
what are you going to do after watching me do this?
Hopefully something along the same lines.
I want to ask you that question fairly often because You're watching the horse because it's your horse. And you're missing all these things I'm doing, and that's not your fault. That's the nature of the horse owner. If I was having my horse being worked with an instructor, I'd do the same thing. I'd be watching my horse. And I'd be thinking of all those problems. But watch me. Watch me keep directing him back, directing him back, directing him back, giving him that grace period. Keep giving him the grace period. Now go back. Now go back. Now go back. And he starts to become comfortable in this space and uncomfortable in this space. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's your homework. What happens is you're probably too quick to take the next step, to hit the next pool ball.
I'm positive my timing sucks.
Yeah.
But you're okay at this point in time without him being at 6 o'clock.
Right. At this point I am.
At this point.
Because up until this point he hasn't even considered that standing there was a good
With
idea.
any relaxation.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I asked him to look in there, he would get really super nervous about it.
Yeah.
And now look at him. He's looking in a calm fashion. So the next pool ball, so to speak, is 6 o'clock. So we say look in there and be relaxed. Those are actually two different things for him. Be relaxed near the area, and then be relaxed looking in the trailer. And you could write this down for him. Be relaxed near the trailer. Be relaxed looking in the trailer. Now be relaxed at 6 o'clock, perpendicular to the trailer. So I'm going to ask him now to go to 6 o'clock. And now everything outside of 6 o'clock is going to be uncomfortable. But if I go too quickly and I say, well, you're almost there, let's hit the next pool ball, then he's not ready. He's not showing relaxation at 6 o'clock yet. Can you see his fidgety feet? Like, he thinks I want him to go in, but really what I want him to do is to
Just
demonstrate that position. Stand at 6.
And if he got excited and went in right now, you would want him to come back and be calm there right away.
I would allow it, but I would also allow him out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't try to hold him in there.
Yeah.
He can explore the space for sure, just like I give him grace to go this way and that way.
Yeah.
But there's a place where I start saying, now it's time to stay in there too. So we're knocking over these dominoes. I got him to stand relaxed near the trailer. I got him to stand relaxed looking inside. Now we're getting relaxation at 6 o'clock. Now we have permission to say, step forward from that 6 o'clock position. And everything outside that becomes really uncomfortable. So ask him forward at 6 o'clock. Grace period, grace period. Ask him to reposition. Forward at 6 o'clock. Grace period, grace period. Gotta give him that 3 to 5 seconds. 3 to 5 seconds here. Slowly pick up my tools, say okay. Thank you. I should say forward is the necessary footwork, but it's that curiosity that's more important. I want him to search for the answer there. So I'll give him a big reward and say thank you. You stepped in, you looked around, you got curious.
I'm rushing.
When you're applying the pressure, are you applying it with the intent of applying it toward his hind end, his middle, his shoulder, or just at him?
Kind of depends on how he's lined up.
Okay.
So right now I'm going to push his nose,
Right. Okay.
and then sometimes I have to push his butt forward. But right now it's all about his nose. So let's pull on that lead rope. Did that get kind of exciting for you? One of the things though, if you can't mirror me exactly, if you remember this, next time he comes out of the trailer, wherever you go, you pull him out of the trailer and stay right here with him. Right next to the tail.
Instead of.
Don't take him around and saddle him up or go down the road. Stay right here with him.
How long?
Even if you until he relaxes. So even if you just stand right here with him for 5 minutes, maybe it takes 10 minutes until he stops fidgeting, and he stops trying to take treats from you, and he stops nosing you, and he just and then go and saddle up and do whatever.
It gives him the mental break.
You should be taking notes, Robin.
I don't really know
Okay.
Hi. Then I can take them. This way I can
John, that standing at the trailer, how many times would you be doing that? Would you do it, let's say 5 more times down the line, you back him off the trailer and the horse seems perfectly relaxed, then you don't need to stand there for 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, you're gonna notice that he just relaxes right away.
It is like I'm scooting off the trailer and I want to be out of here.
That's right. And then you're done and you don't have to do that game anymore. But
Okay. I think that's the part that I've missed.
God, he seems really like aware of us all watching him.
He's looking around saying, help me, help me.
Is that added pressure on him?
probably, but not so much
Our
that we.
eyes on it.
Yeah. You're clever. I reward the cleverness, that mindset. It looks like obstinance to a lot of us. Like, you little rat.
It was in my trunk. My
Okay,
eyes are
that
in
could be part
the
of like
back seat
what
on
I'm
the
looking at,
side. I
because
think.
he's been a challenge.
Got on it with both feet and look at you. You would not pay him at that.
I don't usually interrupt like this. I wouldn't interrupt this
Okay.
because it's a curious moment, and if I reach for him, it could spoil it.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
I will pet him, but usually when I sense that he's not in that curious moment anymore, where he's chilled.
Thank you. Would you mind setting it up?
Isn't the release better anyway?
The release, the space, give him the reward as a release. Yeah, I think so. Plus, I remember listening to. I don't have dogs, but I listened to Cesar Millan,
Yeah.
and he said, don't try not to pet an anxious dog. And I thought, why don't I teach that with horses too? Don't pet an anxious horse. So when he's in that moment and he's tiptoeing around, I don't want to pet him right then.
You don't want to pet him to calm him because it doesn't work.
No. So I'll pet him when he's calm as a reward for being calm, but I won't pet him to make him calm.
Okay. Thank you. I have to stop for a second.
Not that curious.
I've never seen a horse stick its head outside like that. That's funny.
See, this is the point where probably most people would like,
Finish it.
butt,
Yes.
get on, and then
So how do you know when it's okay to say take more steps forward?
when they're calm.
When they calm in that space, when they stop fidgeting. So I'm just going to keep asking them to go to that space, and you tell me when he stops fidgeting around.
Now, see, I would think it helps people
I would like him to keep his head in the trailer too.
But you're not forcing it, and I think I would.
Yeah.
So,
I will start doing that when he's calm, when he stops fidgeting.
because Dexter will go and just stand 2 feet in the trailer and then not move anymore.
Right. Then you have permission to say,
It's time to move.
yeah. The only thing you have to watch about these handles right here is they can catch their halter on them.
Yeah.
Oh, if there's anything that horse can find, right, Robin?
He'll find it.
Yep.
Notice he's got bangs up on both sides of his face right now.
So check this out.
He was tired.
He just barely slipped into the valley. 1, 2, I can do 3, 4, not anymore.
Yeah.
This is super frustrating until you learn about those valleys and peaks. It's like, no, we were doing so well. I'm losing my ground. I'm horrible. Don't
Okay.
go there because that's all just part of it.
That's one thing he's really good at. He can get himself all tangled up and not even care.
That's nice.
Yeah. My super good loader, don't step on that rope or he'll be nuts. Yeah. Of course, they're all so different. But yeah, he can step on all over those.
So is he calm in this space right now?
No.
No, he's fidgety. I have permission to keep asking him to go here, but not further.
Okay. See, I think the valleys discourage me.
Yeah, they do, everybody. But now you know they're there.
It's better being aware of them.
Yeah.
Sometime before I have to leave today, I want to get the 1, 2 we can do. I want the whole thing. Because that's going to be really. I love things like that.
I was trying to say that this morning and I couldn't. I got as far as 1, 2. We can do.
I have it.
Oh, you do. It's fine.
It's fixed. It's fixed.
You have to send it to
5,
all
6,
of
it looks fixed.
It looks fit.
7,
7,
8.
8.
No, it ain't.
Not so great.
That's good.
I gotta get that.
9, 10, we're back again.
I get caught in 1, 2, 3.
What else do you see me doing?
You're just being
Looking away from
relaxed.
it. You're being so nonchalant.
Right, and I
I
haven't
could be
moved.
here all day.
I haven't moved an inch.
Yeah, he hasn't moved your
Then,
feet.
yeah.
Only time I moved was to collect the rope there when it went under his feet.
He keeps coming out and he looks like he's looking right at
That
you.
was helpful to me yesterday when you told me not to go on the other side of Habibi. And yeah, that was really helpful to me. So my saying in my classroom is, and I tell my middle schoolers this, the one who does the work does the learning. I'm not doing this. You're going to be the ones to ask the questions, not me. So come up with a question. What questions do you have?
Right.
And it was so much reminded me of that yesterday when you showed me that. Pointed
Good.
it out. I'm the one doing the work. Darn it.
Well, until you have the tools, or trust that you have the tools in your hands, you tend to use your feet.
Right.
Because they're a big animal. You're like, I gotta get around this side to push him forward. I gotta go around the other side to bring him back. But I hope to teach you some wax on, wax off sort of martial artist type skill sets, like leading the horse like this, so you have this hand to guide and push him.
Right.
Skills like that. Learn to bring him back and push that nose over there.
Yeah, the leading with the left.
Is he comfortable in this space?
No.
Oh, right there he is.
Getting a little more comfortable.
Not really, but
But he doesn't have his head down and he doesn't look relaxed.
he's getting there though, slowly, ain't he?
So if you're not 100% sure, it can give you some basic guidelines. It's about a 10-second rule.
Like that.
help. Somebody help me out there.
That was 9.
So it's better, but it's not, like if you just use some 10-second rule or a 5-second grace period, these windows, learn to read the windows. It's pretty clear he's not comfortable. So I don't have
He doesn't want to look into that trailer.
Yeah,
Like,
plus he doesn't want to look in, yeah. So I don't really have permission to ask him to go further until he demonstrates some comfort in the space I'm asking him to stay in.
And now it seems like he's getting worse.
Back in the valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, he's kind of in a valley again.
There's like, just look inside, buddy.
Now I haven't employed that curiosity game yet that I talked to you about
Oh, yeah.
before.
Yeah, that's it. I'm curious about it.
I actually have it in my mind that that's what I'm looking for and wanting, but I'm trying to also teach and demonstrate more about the windows, the grace period, being grounded, more what you can do. But like he's there for 10 seconds this time, that tells me, okay, I can ask for the next thing. So the next thing would be for him to be at 6 o'clock again, lined up with his nose in there instead of pulling his nose out. So now I'm not going to give him comfort for just standing there. I feel like we've graduated. I feel like we've graduated. So I want to ask him now to keep his nose in there. And if you're not sure when you can go past this point, just remember that 10-second rule.
Say the 10-second rule again.
If he stands in a space for 10 seconds, it generally demonstrates confidence in that space.
Got it.
Unless there's obvious like shaking or sweating or fidgetiness. I'm not allowing his nose out anymore, and I'm counting. 5, 6, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. I like that. I'll reward
so you're
that.
okay with that?
I'll reward the curiosity because it doesn't show up very often.
Okay. Even though he didn't go in or anything.
Right. I'll take little windows like that because I think that's good. Okay, let's count it up. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nope. So he's not showing comfort in that space. But he did just do something really special. What was it? Yeah, and chewed. He backed out and he stayed facing the trailer.
Yeah, he didn't do that.
Stayed facing the trailer. Didn't go scooting around or anything. So he's kind of relaxed in this mode, you're thinking. Because he
Yeah.
didn't take off somewhere.
That's right. So I'll reward that extra little bit of relaxation he gave.
Okay.
And his head came down too.
Right.
Like right now. He looked down. Like right now.
Nope.
Maybe if I go the other way.
Look.
Back at 6 o'clock.
Now we have something we can work with.
Wow. Okay.
You got, if 6 o'clock is starting to work for you, then you're really getting somewhere. Nope. We don't accept that nose out anymore.
And this is where I get discouraged because I think, oh boy, we've made a lot of progress.
Yeah, so we're back to square one again.
Back in the valley we go.
Go ahead. You're okay. You've got a small butt outfit.
Oh, yeah.
Out here.
Even though we're outside.
Right, yeah, I have not enough trust. You coming over here? Are you learning anything?
The answer probably.
Isn't this interesting? What? But, you know, the biggest thing I'm learning, it takes a long time.
I'm learning it.
It's patience.
You're gonna start loading in about an hour.
Well, you just practice this
No,
day
I know.
after day.
Don, one thing I'm curious about is hopefully at the end of this, he'll go in calmly and everything will be great. And then we'll turn around, and he'll, at least my horse can be great for 2 or 3 times and then it falls through the cracks. And I'm assuming that he really never was really relaxed. Is that it?
Probably, or you're just in a valley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is like the valley again.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to get discouraged. And worse, to mislabel that behavior as obstinate. If you say it's obstinate,
Yeah, and that's what I do.
then it's going to screw you up as a leader. Because you become frustrated when you think somebody's being obstinate. Raise your hand if that's true for
So
you.
when he's pulling back like that, he's just trying another way out.
He's just looking for an answer. And I just tell him the answer's not there. So I always,
Well, I mean, he's dragged me that far back.
I believe you.
He's bigger than me.
Yeah. But I always, that I can think of, there may be some exceptions that I can think of, but I always replace the word obstinate with confused.
I was just wondering, I needed something else. Yes.
But is he confused or just scared? Because like he knows what you want, right? He knows that you
He
want.
might know what I want, but he doesn't know why I want it.
So how?
So he's confused about the value I place on this.
Huh? So how do you show him why you want it?
I can't, I just have to be clear that it's safe to do it and it's not safe to be anywhere else. I show him the importance.
Okay.
And I can't say you're being obstinate.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I
Because
just
I turn into a predator that way.
yeah.
So I find a way to
Oh, I
say,
didn't
you
think
must
of
be
that.
confused.
No.
Because that puts me in a mindset of helping him rather than forcing him.
'Cause I would think he's just uncomfortable. He just doesn't like it in there.
Right. So he's confused about that. Why is he uncomfortable? He's confused to think that this is an uncomfortable space.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you can find something they're confused about and use that as your fuel to help him. Rather than, you dirty rat!
Well, that's where it was yesterday.
I think
Wasn't
Robin used
dirty.
different words.
It wasn't dirty though.
So Don, what about the horses that like get stuck? They're happy to stand there and put their heads in and don't move.
We could
Yeah.
have Dexter do that.
He's just almost there. If he would stand there for 10 seconds, we really would be there. I've upped the game a little bit to come out of this valley here. To say it's really not comfortable out here, you haven't gone in for a while. That's where the comfort is, right there. I really jumped into a valley, but I'm not mad at him, I just know that he's confused. Put your head in there, please. That's the game we're working on right now. And once he gets to this point and learns to stay at this point, like you might say, then the heat's on again. It's like, okay, new game. You don't get to just stay here now. And he'll say, fine, I'm out. Like, okay, but it's really not fun out here either.
The only place that's nice is in the trailer is what you're trying to do.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only comfortable place for him. There's a grace period, so I don't jump down his throat and become predatorial.
Like right now, you're not going to really encourage him to go in anymore, huh?
Well, no, I just want his head to go in there. He offered that on his own. I didn't want him to go that far. So he's allowed to come out.
Oh, just
So
smell the shit.
that's good that he's in there
You gotta smell
exploring and stuff, right?
Oops.
Even though you didn't ask it?
Even though I didn't ask it, I certainly will allow exploration. Now let's see what happens when he comes out.
Yep, we're out of here.
Not too bad.
Okay, now I know.
Oh, good for you. Look at that.
They always blow up.
That's a release. That's a huge release.
So I'll just remind you again, just stay right here with him until he stops fidgeting. 6 o'clock, please line up with me.
So now I'm curious. You're now standing there with him, and is that because he went in and came out, and you think maybe we'll just hang out instead of where you were doing?
Yeah,
the
we're just gonna hang out for a bit because he did something nice, and obviously it bothered him.
Yeah.
So I'm just asking him now to stop being fidgety. Saddle, back, down.
I'm not going to ask anything more right now. We're just hanging out together is sort of the idea.
Right, you did something special,
Yeah.
and he doesn't even know it. He's
Yeah.
like, I did something special, and I'm scared now. But I want to give you things that you can absolutely remember. There should be a tether,
I was just gonna say, spot right there.
a spot, yeah. You're not allowed to move from. There should be. I'm joking about this, of course, but there should be like a rope that you're attached to right here. You can't go any further than this, so you don't become predatorial. I'm grounded. I'm neutral.
I'm sure I've been predatorial.
So grounded in one place, you feel as though it takes that predator part off.
Takes all of it off. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it takes all of it off.
Yeah. You
Not
can't. I mean, you can be fast with your tools, but if you can't move your feet, you're very, very limited, and they know that. So it takes a ton of the pressure off.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely bothered because he pants a little bit. Now Dexter, his hind end would be shivering.
He will, when he's on there, end up shivering.
Yeah.
So he's going to come out,
He's pretty curious right now in there.
and I'm going to step back up there and wait for him
No
to
one's
settle
curious
down.
about his poop.
Now when he comes out, what's your plan now? When he comes out, are you going to stand up there again? Okay. I'm trying to be a
Okay.
step ahead so I know what to do.
That's right.
Well, this is scary.
Now, this is a scary part for him, coming down off the He just has to, something he has to get used to.
That's right.
Nothing much that.
He is pretty great.
So fearful, coming out,
He's not
but he's willing, he's not rushing.
Well, usually when after they do that and they get off, my inclination has always been, oh, you did it, let's give you a reward, let's go have grass, but really that's rewarding what's out here.
If he's calm and you have a good,
Right.
no issues with the trailer, then that would be fine.
Right.
What was that? I missed it.
Then I'll usually like, oh, you got off, let's go have grass before they're relaxed.
Yeah.
Leaving before they're relaxed.
That's a
Rewarding with
thing,
grass.
yeah. I'm rewarding him
I
for
know.
nothing.
You let him graze far more than I. It's like, oh.
No, but I grazed him yesterday, and we went over there, and he did not graze until I put my hand on his head and said, okay, and then he went and grazed, because I've been working with him on that.
on it?
No, but I don't-
Question.
I haven't been.
So that's so great. When do you know when to quit? Because I've been told that my horse used to have not Habibi, but my other horse used to have horrible trailer loading issues. And I was told that if she gets it right once, just call it quits. And don't keep asking her to do it. What are your thoughts around that?
I will, depending on how long it took me to get there.
Yeah.
So if it took me 2 hours to get her in once, I probably would quit.
You probably what?
Would quit.
Would quit,
And then
okay.
come back tomorrow.
Got it.
But you also, you learn about those cycles and the 1, 2 we can do, 3, 4 not anymore. And then if you really become practiced with horse training, you purposefully go through cycles, purposefully go through valleys.
To give them a little stress
To teach them that it's okay to recover from those valleys. So get them in once and then you think I should quit because I know if I ask again it's going to go poorly.
And you ran out of time, so you gotta be faster.
Yeah, if you're time constrained, you can't do it again. But if you don't have any time constraints, then you say, okay, let's do this again, knowing it will fail. And then you get past that failure, an hour later, you're in the trailer again. You accomplished more by doing that than by putting them away for the day, if you have time. If you don't have time, then it won't work. But
Now, do you have something in your head on when you would quit with him? Today?
oh, today?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just kind of watching the clock and
Yeah,
going.
but I mean, let's just say we have all the time in the world.
If I had all the time in the world, I would quit with him standing still and the gate was closed.
Okay, you would go that far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go the
So
next
if it
step.
took another hour, you don't care.
No.
Yeah.
If I had all the time in the world. I'm not going to fry his brain. I'm not chasing him around and worrying him up. I'm neutralizing his energy. I'm not
But look
spiking
how
it.
sweaty he is and he's sort of panting.
Right?
He's obviously not a happy camper.
No, not at all. But I also have a simple, I'm going to say something and it makes perfect sense, but then you have to think about it over and over and over. You want to end with a good start.
Oh.
So when do you quit? When do you quit with your horse? When you have instant access to what you want is when you quit. So if I took, for instance, 2 hours to get him in the trailer and he went in once, that means it took 2 hours to get him in the trailer. What if I gave him a 5-minute break and then I tested it again and it only took 1 second to go in the trailer? Wouldn't that be a better place to quit than a 2-hour start? Now I have a 1 second start. So I have instant access versus delayed access to what I want. So he just went in the trailer after about 5 or 6 wiggly, it's hard to get him to go, finally he goes. Give him a couple of minutes and then I'm going to ask him in again and we'll see how well he starts. And that's the kind of end I want, is the perfect start. So I'm going to line him up here. Let's test it. How well does he start? Better than before, but was that was that a good start? No. So what I do is I work with him until he goes in, but I'm mentally taking notes, and I'm thinking, okay, so it took 2 attempts to get him in the trailer. Should I quit on that one, or should I quit on the one where it only takes 1 attempt to get him in the trailer?
I thought that one was good. We were on there for a fast time.
In my space, bud. In my space, you're squishing me. Please don't squish me. Please don't squish me. I'm here.
So a lot of people say, and this may be for other things like that take longer, like, you know, if you the first day you get 1% or 2%, that's good, and then the next day you get another 1 or 2%.
That would be fine, yeah.
That's depending on what it, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, as a clinician,
So you don't have to get to, because like that's the thing they talk about, like you don't have to get perfection.
Yeah,
If you just get a few percent, you're making progress.
that's right. That's
So-
a really good way to think about it.
Okay. So you might do this for half an hour, and if you get him with his front feet up there, then you call it a day. The next day you do it
Yeah,
again. You could
it'd be
do that.
totally fine.
Okay.
As long as you've got a mental note, you got a piece of scratch paper somewhere that says step 1, look at the trailer and be comfortable looking.
Okay.
Step 2, 6 o'clock, be comfortable at 6 o'clock. Step 3, step in the trailer, be comfortable stepping in the trailer, 2 feet. Step 4, and you've got these written down somewhere so you can go, got it, check, 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 check. Otherwise, you're like, I got 2 feet in yesterday, what's next? I don't know, we'll see if we can get 2 feet in again. So you got to know the next.
That's probably good for those of us who don't have a lot of patience and know that we're going to get frustrated. It's almost like managing your own self, your own expectations.
There's some of us.
Yeah, that's I think most people's problem.
So, was this the perfect start?
No.
So again, I'm making that mental note. It took 2 attempts to get him in the trailer. This is better though, right?
Yeah.
Staying in longer, so we're seeing progress in other ways. Now, at this point, you could, given a time constraint, just take him home. Like, shut the door and say, sorry, bud, we gotta go somewhere now.
Now, would you always lock him in or just close the door and let him have all the space?
Depends on how relaxed he is. My horses, I give him the whole space.
You can turn around and have
Just wait. Don't squish me, please.
So do you think part of his problem of going in is that he's nervous about coming out? It looks like he's
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I had a.
feet and trying to figure out where the edge is.
I think you could be right. I had a rider, a student of mine from Utah, that was terrified of riding her horse. I couldn't understand why her horse was so good. I said, "Why are you so afraid?" And she finally, after months of getting to know her, she admitted, she said, "I can't get off." Like she physically struggled to get off her horse. So if something happens, I'm like, oh, so he's having a similar issue here. He's like, it's hard for me to get off that trailer. So I allow him all the time he needs to get off. Let him fumble around, bump against the sides. And then maybe his confidence will grow. So that's in the back of my head too. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we get a good start. We end with a good start. Let's see. Now I'd be happy to quit here because I don't care what happens. He can bolt out of there if he wants. I'm just gonna stand at the trailer until he relaxes. We're done. We ended with a perfect start.